Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to our weekly reading of The World Order of Baha'u'llah. If you're joining for the first time, linked below, you will find all kinds of great links and playlists and information to orient you into the who, what, when, where, why, and how of this series, studying along together, this collection of letters to more deeply understand what exactly the world order of Baha'u'llah is, as articulated by Shoghi Effendi, the guardian of the Baha'i Faith, in these letters. It's storming outside. It might get kind of rocky and intense, but just don't mind that, all right? So we are in the middle of a letter called The Golden Age of the Cause of Baha'u'llah, written in 1932 to the Baha'is of U.S. and Canada. And last week, we read a subsection called Contrast with Religions of the Past. And we're picking up this week with fundamental principle of religious truth. And by the way, this is an awesome section. You ready? Let no one, however, mistake my purpose. The revelation which Baha'u'llah is the source and center abrogates, I don't know if you heard that thunder. The revelation of which Baha'u'llah is the source and center abrogates none of the religions that have preceded it, nor does it attempt in the slightest degree to distort their features or to belittle their value. It disclaims any intention of dwarfing any of the prophets of the past or of whittling down the essential verity of their teachings. It can in no wise conflict with the spirit that animates their claims, nor does it seek to undermine the basis of any man's allegiance to their cause. It's declared its primary purpose is to enable every adherent of these faiths to obtain a fuller understanding of the religion with which he stands identified, and to acquire a clearer apprehension of its purpose. It is neither eclectic in the presentation of its truth nor arrogant in the affirmation of its claims. Its teachings revolve around the fundamental principle that religious truth is not absolute, but relative, that divine revelation is progressive, not final. Unequivocally and without the least reservation, it proclaims all established religions to be divine in origin, identical in their aims, complementary in their functions, continuous in their purpose, indispensable in their value to mankind. Woo-wee, you guys. Okay, this whole thing is so amazing. If you are new to the Baha'i Faith and you're like, who are these Baha'is? What are they about? What is this like progressive revelation and that sort of thing? Or if you are a Baha'i and you want to like find a way to be able to articulate this to your friends and colleagues when you're talking about it, this paragraph just shows the relationship between the Baha'i Faith and other religions so beautifully. So I'm just going to go through it again slowly. The revelation which Baha'u'llah is the source and center of the Baha'i Faith, the source and the center of the Baha'i Faith. It abrogates none of the religions that have preceded it, nor does it attempt in the slightest degree to distort their features or to belittle their value. It disclaims any intention of dwarfing any of the prophets of the past or of whittling down the eternal verities of their teachings. It can in no wise conflict with the spirit that animates their claims. Isn't that interesting? It can no wise conflict with the spirit that animates their claims. Nor does it seek to undermine the basis of any man's allegiance to their cause. Does not seek to undermine any person's allegiance to the cause of these earlier revelations. It's declared its primary purpose is is to enable every adherent of these faiths, to enable every adherent of the faiths of the past to obtain a fuller understanding of the religion with which he stands identified. Wow. Its declared primary purpose is to enable every adherent of these faiths to gain a fuller understanding of the religion with which he stands identified, and to acquire a clearer apprehension of its purpose. So it's to help people understand their own faiths better. And to apprehend, to me, I think of that, it's like comprehend, except you like have it in your possession, right? To apprehend its purpose, more deeply apprehend the purpose of your own religion or religious background or faith. So the Baha'i Faith is neither eclectic in the presentation of its truths nor arrogant in the affirmation of its claims. Its teachings revolve around the fundamental principle that religious truth is not absolute but relative. It's a really interesting way to put it. That divine revelation is progressive, not final. And progressive is kind of a murky word these days, but he really clarifies it by adding it's progressive, not final. It's like a continuous flow. This, infinite, possibly, this infinite education, cause, guidance, divine revelation is progressive, not final. Unequivocally and without the least reservation, it proclaims all established religions to be divine in origin, identical in their aims, complementary in their functions, continuous in their purpose, indispensable in their value to mankind. Moving on. All the prophets of God, asserts Baha'u'llah in the Kitab-i-Agan, abide in the same tabernacle, soar in the same heaven, are seated upon the same throne, and utter the same speech, and proclaim the same faith, from the beginning that hath no beginning. These exponents of the unity of God and channels of his incessant utterance have shed the light of the invisible beauty upon mankind, and will continue to the end that hath no end, to vouchsafe fresh revelations of his might and additional experiences of his inconceivable glory. To contend that any particular religion is final, that, quote, all revelation is ended, that the portals of divine mercy are closed, that from the daysprings of eternal holiness no sun shall rise again, that the ocean of everlasting bounty is forever stilled, and that out of the tabernacle of ancient glory the messengers of God have ceased to be made manifest, would indeed be nothing less than sheer blasphemy. They differ, explains Baha'u'llah in the same epistle, only in the intensity of their revelation and the comparative potency of their light. Got it? They differ only in the intensity of their revelation and the comparative potency of their light. And this not by reason of any inherent incapacity of any one of them to reveal in a fuller measure the glory of the message with which he has been entrusted, but rather because of the immaturity and unpreparedness of the age he lived in to apprehend and absorb the full potentialities latent in that faith. I think of it like a dimmer, like a light that has a scale of how bright it can go, and that it is no lack of capacity of that light or electrical system. If it's more dim, it's just that is what was appropriate for that time and place, for that output of revelation, that intensity. Know of a certainty, explains Baha'u'llah, that in every dispensation the light of divine revelation has been vouchsafed to men in direct proportion to their spiritual capacity. Consider the sun, how feeble its rays the moment it appears above the horizon, how gradually its warmth and potency increase as it approaches its zenith, enabling meanwhile all created things to adapt themselves to the growing intensity of its light. How steadily it declines until it reaches its setting point. Were it all of a sudden to manifest the energies latent within it, it would no doubt cause injury to all created things. In like manner, if the Sun of Truth were suddenly to reveal at the earliest stages of its manifestation the full measure of the potencies which the providence of the Almighty has bestowed upon it, the earth of human understanding would waste away and be consumed. For men's hearts would neither sustain the intensity of its revelation, nor be able to mirror forth the radiance of its light. Dismayed and overpowered, they would cease to exist. Whoa. Beautiful. All right, my friends. Well, I'm going to stop in the middle of this section and we will pick up next week, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time with our study along. Once again, link below. There's a bunch of information, including this document and a study guide. If you want to enrich your own study, feel free to share this content with anyone that you think might want to study along with us, or if you feel like this articulated some things about the Baha'i Faith you've been curious about or have been wanting to share with other people, please, that's what YouTube is great for. Share. Please subscribe and like this video. I am actually in South Dakota right now doing an art show at Freedom Fest, and I look forward to telling you all about that when I get back. And I want to wish you the best for playing your unique part in making this world a better place. I'll catch you next time.